General Muhammad come.
We live, sir. I'm back to doing me. My nigga, who else could I be? I'm just trying to do me. Yeah, I had a couple minor setbacks through the slim legs and a fat ass. Had your boy brain dead. I'm back at it like a easy doing so in. Don't give games a hard time, you know, go fed. True H-Town nigga straight up out there southwest. 100 in that creep, then the corners on the good crest. A smooth funkadelic play, wristed nigga, no less. To tell you how no poppin' knows, keep it there. Round here, players get chose. I'm a sucker for a bad hoe with class. A little bit of sass, a whole lot of ass, bro. And a couple mans in the stables, then I keep close. My wife's fresh out of bed, you catch me out. Hold up, dog, just trying to live on top. Bad chick, them on the club, you need eat your feelings. County sugars, no love over here. Your pills work 2 ounces of water. Shit, my nigga, I'm just trying to do me. My nigga, who else could I be? Trying to do me. My nigga, who else could I yeah, see, I play it cool ever since me high was niggas copping sweet guys. I've been about the speed time with school. Ever chasing see I eat guys. Chase this paper, so bang for all cheap guys. The millions like cracking, give them your leader. No respect the person, best believe I hope believe ya. In this crowd and see what's alimony, get a pocket bleeder. I pray for Proverbs 31 because it's cheaper to keep her. As I digress, on to the next matter. A fool of others own mind like Mad Hatter. Be discreet in these streets, walk up in no chatter. A wise man hold his tongue and makes his pockets fatter. Because it's always a rat out here clocking cheddar. Make me come and turn the hair, shut the massive slender. Like the ant, eat the stash house for the winter. For these sluggers, like off your lead, cuz
Make it where I can see the chat on YouTube right here.
My nigga, who else could I be? Trying to do me.
Get okay. Just close and learn more. Just close and learn more. Close.
My philosophy shade on any Socrates. Wordplay, prophecy, my accuracy like archery. Bullseye flow, you looking like an atrocity. My glow exposing your mediocrity like gynecology. Niggas try thinking we equal like an isosceles. My anger lift up to different level like topography. Haters blockers on Photoshop filters to photography. Periodic finish my alchemy states property. Plastic active, small fish like a mackerel. Street nigga, how I ball my steam up now for Bernie Maxwell. Wash on let your nigga when I hate to try and tackle. Come with the beat, my boy, you beat up the creek with no paddle. This man super, none cooler. Car collected like a sharpshooter. I drive down to Judah, which means I'm a gun to all losers. Ha! My driver sees on this car Uber. I'm doing me. My nigga, who else could I be? I'm just trying to do me. My nigga, who else could I be? Back to doing me.
All right. Clap it up. All right, it's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. It is Monday, the history breakdown class. where we line it up, line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, using external references to support and back up the basis of the things that are in the Bible. We got a subject matter today, Lupercalia, aka Valentine's Day. I mean, I really don't understand at this point why we gotta keep going over it. But for the new people tuning in, we will, because the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, right? I think we had a couple of questions. Start with Beezy. Go ahead.
Khan, sir. Like if I may, but I have a brother who I know who's in the world, and he knows about the school. And when I try to explain to him that Israel is made up of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, he doesn't understand. He doesn't see how Hispanics are in the Bible. He's a Hispanic brother, so I just wanted to know how would I go as far to explain to somebody that the color scriptures in the Bible we go for Hispanics and Native Indians as well as black people.
Go to Jeremiah 12:1. So the question is, I get this a lot. I mean, and the reason why is because what's the terminology? Oh my God, it's not delusion. It's a syndrome. Anyway, the oppressor has done a number upon our people, right? To the point to where they identify heritage, right, or culture with skin color, right? It's another word for that, which is tribalism, right? Your heritage has nothing to do with your skin color at all. You understand? Both of my grandparents on my mother's side are Creole, right? I mean, Creole. I mean, they lighter than light skin, but all their kids came out this color for the most part, except one, right? So skin color has nothing to do with heritage or culture, right? And then you said his brother was he was a Mexican. Is correct? Okay. I would ask him, well, what color is a Mexican? What color is Isupk, right? Because the last time I went to Mexico, I saw brothers as dark as that chair to as light as you. So what color is a Mexican? Right? What color is a Native American? I mean, I'm a Native American, right? But I've also seen Native Americans as light as Jeff, as light as you. What does color have to do with heritage? That's the question that you have to ask. Go ahead and read what you got.
Khan. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 12, verse 1. Mm-hmm. Righteous art thou, O Lord, when I plead with thee. Mm-hmm. Yet let me talk with thee of thy judgments. Mm-hmm. Wherefore doeth the way of the wicked prosper? Wherefore are all the happy that deal very treacherously?
You understand? So this is Jeremiah questioning the Lord, right? And Jeremiah is like, he's asking the Lord, about his judgments, you know what I'm saying, towards the children of Israel, right? Keep reading.
Verse 2. Thou hast planted them, yea, they have taken root, they grow, yea, they bring forth fruit. Mm-hmm. Thou art near in their mouth, and far from their reins.
All right, so just like things the same now, right? The tares and the wheat grow together, right? Because if you pluck up the tares, you might uproot some of the wheat. Now, what does that mean, right? So, unfortunately, there are some Israelites that have Edomite mothers, right? You understand? And if you uproot the tares, the Edomites, you might uproot some of Israel, right? There were brothers in the school, you know, as unfortunate as it is, but you can't choose how you were born, right? You understand? You have an Edomite mother, you know what I'm saying? A Hamite mother, an Ammonite mother, a Moabite mother, you understand? A Japhite mother, you understand? You can't pick who you were born unto, right? But the tares grow with the wheat, right? And because of that, right, there's a confusion. Now, there was no confusion of heritage or skin color before the eugenics movement. There was no ideology of black or white, right? You know what I'm saying? Brown skin, pale skin, fair skin. Those terms were used as derogatory statements, right? Black meant what it has always been before, evil, right? He has a black soul, right? He's an evil person, right? Pale face, or someone call you fork tongue, right? That means, you know, you tell a lot of lies, yo, fork tongue like a snake. You understand? So up until the eugenics movement, a great book to read on this subject matter is Nature Knows No Color Lines. That's literally what it is. There are no color lines in nature. You understand? There are many different colors of pigeons, right? There are many different colors of felines, right? There are many different colors of the ape animal kingdom, right? They come in different sizes, different colors, different spectrums, but they're all of the ape family, right? And in that ape family, you have gorillas, you have chimpanzees, you have orangutans, you have what's the other one?
Baboons.
Got the baboons. You know what I'm saying? You got the Reese monkey, where the Reese virus came from, or quote unquote Reese virus came from. You know what I'm saying? So color doesn't have anything to do with heritage, right? Now, chimps go to war with orangutans and baboons. They'll try and go to war with gorillas, right? But let a tiger or a panther come in there in the midst where all of them at, they all gonna team up on them. You know what I'm saying? Because color has nothing to do with heritage. You understand? You banging on each other like Crips and Bloods. You feel me? Keep reading.
Verse 3. But thou, O Lord, knowest me.
He knows what?
Knowest me.
Because in scripture, he said he knew thee before you were in your mother's womb. You understand? The Lord knows you. He knows who you are. He said, only Israel have I known of all the families upon the face of the earth. Right? Keep reading.
Thou hast seen me and tried mine heart toward thee. Pull them out like sheep for the slaughter.
You understand? All right, so where I want you to drop down to. Drop down to verse 6. You're gonna read 6 through 9.
Verse 6. For even thy brethren and the house of thy father, even they have dealt treacherously with thee. Yea, they have called a multitude after thee. Believe them not, though they speak fair words unto thee.
Keep reading. Verse 7.
Verse 7. I have forsaken mine house. I have left mine heritage.
He said he had left his what?
I have left mine heritage.
Now, based off of the scriptures, what happens when you leave your heritage?
You transgress against the law?
No, what you was about to say before you said that. You corrected yourself.
Commit sin?
No, you said cut. You cut yourself off. Right? So, like, prime example, like when I went off to go to college, you know what I'm saying? My uncle straight up told me, like, look, nephew, You about to go out to a whole new world. You know, you go down in Baton Rouge. You know, you got Southern, you got LSU. Now, you go out there, you know, you do your thing. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. Don't bring no white woman back home to this family reunion. You understand what I'm saying? Because color has nothing to do with heritage. If I were to bring a white woman home to my family, to my heritage, I would be ostracized. I would be looked bad at us apart. Go check outside. You understand? I would be looked crazy. You understand? And then my family wouldn't deal with me to a certain extent. It's like, why would you invite the enemy into our house? You understand what I'm saying? That's how Jeremiah feels right now. He feels like he's forsaken. He's like, we've forsaken our heritage, right? You understand? But heritage, again, has nothing to do with color. He's going to break that down. Keep reading.
I have given the dearly beloved of my soul into the hands of her enemies.
Keep reading.
Verse 8, mine heritage is unto me as a lion in the forest.
You understand? He said, my heritage is unto me as a lion that cried. Well, a lion in the forest is going to say that cries out against me, right? Right. A lion in the forest is a fierce animal, right? It's not to be trifled with. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
It crieth out against me. Therefore I hated it.
You understand? So when your heritage cries out against you, that means that you going against the grain to what is popular, right? And it cries out against you. Like we all see a brother in corporate America that is struggling to be like something that he's not. We all work in corporate America, and we see a supervisor, and he'd be rough with you. He go, hey Brian, how you doing, man? Right. Brian, man, it's awesome to see you, man. Right. How was the game, guy? You know, did you see the Buccaneers, man? The Patriots? You know what I'm saying? But he don't talk like that when he's around you. Right. You know what I'm saying? He look like a fish out of water. You understand? Because your heritage will cry out against you. And even Brian will look at you like, what's wrong with you? Why are you talking like that, man? You ain't talking like a brother. You know what I'm saying? He could be like, Jeff, what's wrong with your boys? Like, man, I don't know, man. Something wrong with that fool, man. That boy tripping. Right. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Right. You know what I'm saying? Your oppressor knows when you're trying to play possum. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 9. My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird.
It's asking him as a what?
A speckled bird.
So what is a speckled bird? Go ahead.
A bird that's predominantly one color but has other colors in it?
It's a bird with many array of colors in it. Right. Right? So when you talk to that brother, you tell him that Israel is a speckled bird. You understand? An array of colors. But it's not talking about skin color, it's talking about heritage. Right. Like prime example. So the Northern Kingdom, right? They known for making tacos. Right? The reason why you know we're the same family is Southern Kingdom known to make them too. But we make the unleavened bread a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? They make tortas and corn tortillas. You understand? You know, we make the flatboards. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So they come in different shapes and sizes. You know what I'm saying? In the Caribbeans, they call them roti. You understand? That's unleavened bread, roti. You understand? So it's different flavors, but it's the same thing. It's just remixed. We a speckled bird, and it was talking about heritage, not skin color. You understand? And when you come across a brother like that, like, well, why are you so caught up in skin color? You know what I'm saying? Who is your father? Well, if that's what, is your father conquistador? Is he a Spaniard? You know what I'm saying? Is he Portuguese? You know, or is he a people of the land? You know what I'm saying? Well, if he's a people of the land, why does it matter what color your skin is? It's about your heritage. Go ahead, Safar.
It's like this, sir. And, it was so heavy that you're talking about this because there's a lot of our Northern Kingdom brothers. I guess that's the excuse to say that we are a group only for so-called blacks.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be too heavy to use this precept of the second address, the 13th chapter 40 through 45, or
read it?
Or would that be too much meat?
Read it.
Oh, come, sir. There's a book of Second Ezra, chapter 13 and verse 40.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land.
Mm-hmm.
In the time of O.Z. the king, whom Salmanassar, king of Assyria, Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters. And so came they into another land. Verse 41. But they took counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
So, because it gets kind of long. So just to paraphrase what the brother's reading, this is when the Northern Kingdom, or majority of the Northern Kingdom, left, right? They went to Al-Sarath, right? Which basically translates to new land, right? Which is known as the Americas, right? The whole continent of the Americas, from Canada all the way down to South and Central America. Right. So,
and that's what, sir?
Huh?
What's that?
That's second address, what, 12?
So it's second address, chapter
13, 40 through 45. You don't got a regular pen? That pen right in yes, he got one right here, brother. I think that's, no, that's not. See if you can find that brother a pen. That boy writing in lime green. That's gonna be tough on his eyes. He already with glasses. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't use that scripture to for a brother that's having questions. He's caught up in colorism. You know what I'm saying? You really want to get to that brother what heritage is, right? Heritage is culture. Culture has nothing to do with skin color. Now, we use terms like black and white because those are terms that can be commonly understood today and can mentally imagine who we're talking about, right? But we're talking about a specific nation. We're talking about Edom, right? We're talking about Ammon. We're talking about Moab, right? Like we don't hate the white man because he's white, right? You know what I'm saying? We hate him for the atrocities that he's done to our family over time, right? And we want retribution, as any child would want. You know what I'm saying? So I mean that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? You can finish reading that scripture out. It'll give some more clarification. You can start it again at verse 9.
Verse 9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field. Come to devour.
You understand? So the bird that we are a speckled bird. You understand? We're a bird of a different array of colors, and the birds around us is hating. So let's just say we a peacock, right? You know, peacock got an array of colors on it, especially a male. See, a male's the one that got that big tail, you know what I'm saying, that flutter his tail and stuff like that to attract the female, right? You know what I'm saying? Now we got the pigeons hating on the peacock, got the vultures hating on the peacock, got the chicken hawks hating on the peacock, the chickens hating on the peacock. They trying to box the peacock. You know what I'm saying? But you know who the peacock cool with? The peacock cool with the wolf. You know what I'm saying? The peacock cool with the possum. The peacock cool with the rats. The peacock cool, you understand, with the mountain lions. You know what I'm saying? The peacock cool with the dogs in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So when all these birds try to swoop down on the peacock, you know what I'm saying? My dogs roll up like, woo-hoo.
Yeah.
What you doing? You know what I'm saying? Leave peacock alone. You know what I'm saying? That's the Lord. You know what I'm saying? The Lord will use the other beasts of the field to devour your enemies because you're the speckled bird that he loves. Your heritage should be enough. If you caught up on skin color, you have a mental disorder.
Right.
Because you are more than the skin that you're in. And that's how you should explain it to them.
Calm.
All right. Anybody else have any questions before I get into this this Lupercalia Valentine's Day breakdown? Yes. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I was trying to find out.
Press the power button, bro.
You gotta hold it. It's already on.
Oh,
You gotta hold it to your mouth.
sir.
Oh, man.
Damn. Salakia, for those at home that had heard that big surge of volume.
Sorry about that. Salaki.
Oh, snap. Go ahead, brother.
So I was trying to find out if there's a scripture that supports a woman being able to leave her husband if he doesn't keep her in a certain lifestyle, or like if she comes from a family of wealth and she marries and the man can't keep her in that type of, like if she's driving a Benz or something like that, he have to keep her like in those type of vehicles or something like that. Like,
okay, so go to Exodus 21 and 10. Start at 21 and 9. Now, this has nothing to do. This is the actual statement, right? So, if a man takes a wife, right, the only thing that he's required to do is to fulfill the dowry to the father.
Right.
Right? Well, it can be, oh, you want to marry my daughter, huh? Well, if you want to marry my daughter, you got to cut my grass every Saturday at 5 a.m. for a year straight. You understand? I want my edges trimmed. You know what I'm saying? I want you to edge it. I want you to manicure my bushes. You understand? I don't want no leaves on the sidewalk. You understand? I want you to wash my car for a year, every Saturday at 5 a.m. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You do that, you have a daughter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now that's just an extreme scenario. It could be, man, I want 10 acres of land. You know what I'm saying? You really love her? She worth 10 acres? I want 10 acres of land.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? See, I'll say something like that to a BS Negro that's trying to court my daughter. They would say you want to marry you want to marry my daughter. I need 10 acres out. 10 acres. You understand? And a couple of horses. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Look up real quick how much an acre of land is worth in Texas, Beezy. You know what know what I'm saying? I know acres. Go ahead.
Which one you say? Exodus what?
Exodus 21, you're gonna start at verse 9, but you're gonna read 9 and 10. Right? So there is no scripture that says a woman can leave her husband because he a trash man and she want a doctor.
Right.
There's no scripture that says a woman can leave her man because he's he's a janitor or a mechanic. You understand? And they ride in a Hyundai and she want to be in a Maserati. How much you got the cost? How much is an acre of land worth?
Two that.
Give it a pop on the top. Is it on?
Yeah, it's on.
There you go.
There you go.
Two.
Use the other mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, grab the other mic from Sapar. What did it say now?
Oh, that's just
2000. 2000.
Is the volume on? Is the power on?
it was just working.
Is the power on?
Sir.
All right, we just talk real loud.
$2,650 per
So
acre.
$2,650 per acre. Let me calculate that up. $2,060 per acre times 10. You know what I'm saying? That's $20,000.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I need 20 G's. And that's just the land. I want horses too. You know what I'm saying? She worked that much to y'all. Well, she don't want to marry my daughter did. You know what I'm saying? But that's the only thing leading up to that a man is required to fulfill. Now, hold on. Now, let's say, she don't have a father. You know, so like her father's dead, right? Well, then you're supposed to go to the next of kin, you know what I'm saying? Or to the elder in her family, you know what I'm saying? So, and this is the reason why, because unfortunately, all women get carried away, in passion. You know what I'm saying? Oh, girl, he's so fine. I just love the way his beard is oiled. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Can't nobody read the scriptures like him. You know what I'm saying? The way his fringes just hang over his boots, I ain't never seen nothing like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But your father didn't see the type of man that he is before. You understand? Your grandfather didn't see the character and the type of man that this is before, right? Which is why you go to the father, right? You understand? That lets you know the generation that we're in and how weak the men are in our society. You understand? Because they rather just beguile the woman, right? You understand?
Right.
So, I tell you how righteous brothers are in school. So, Matthew, he came into school, he had a rib. You know what I'm saying? He had 2 ribs. You feel me? Now, one of his ribs, she in the world, you know what I'm saying? One of my homegirls I grew up with, you feel me? And her daddy, she was like, well, she wanted to get married. And so, she introduced him to her daddy. So the first time he met her daddy, he's like, look, you know what I'm saying? Your daughter is my wife. You know what I'm saying? Now, biblically, I'm required to pay a dowry for her. You know what I'm saying? Seeing that we already married, you name it, I'll fulfill it. You know what I'm saying? You know what that brother said? He's like, man, all the men that my daughter done dated ain't never came to me and said no real stuff like that. As long as you treat my daughter right, and you a righteous brother, that's all that matter to me, man. You understand?
Right.
Be towards his daughter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That he wouldn't treat her like some $2 hoe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some hit it or quit it, some one night stand, that he was accountable and responsible for. He's like, man, just treat my daughter right. You know what I'm saying? That's all I require. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, read the scripture. You had something that you want to say before you read it?
Go
ahead.
I was trying to see like if he got her, and then if he took had a rib and he took another rib.
That's what you're about to read.
Mm-hmm. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 9. And if he had bedrocked her unto betrothed,
like betrothed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Her unto his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10, if he take him another wife, her food, her remnant, and her duty of marriage shall not diminish.
You understand? So if you take on another wife, you currently have a wife. You know what I'm saying? If you paying all the rent, you know what I'm saying, and you taking care of all the insurance, the lights, whatever you providing for the current wife, you're not to diminish that when you take on another wife. Now, I'll tell you something else, you know what I'm saying? If you knocking the bottom out that box in your first wife, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the regulatory period you've been knocking the bottom out that box, you supposed to keep knocking the bottom out that box. Just because you get another one, don't mean nothing. Whatever you're doing, you don't stop. You know what I'm saying? That's not righteous. You don't take from one house to give to another house. If you can't keep doing what you're doing with this one, when you take on another one, that's the reason, that's the purpose for courting. You shouldn't take on the other one. That's the purpose for courting for 6 months.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. To see if this person has, a mental illness, a debilitating disease, an inherited disability. You know what I'm saying? What their FICO score is, where, are her parents still together? What is her mother like? How does her mother treat her father? How does her father treat her mother? You know what I'm saying? You gotta see these things. You know what I'm saying? What's your blood pressure? Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. You feel me? Do you have hypertension? Do you have diabetes? You know what I'm saying? Do you have are you high risk for Alzheimer's in your family? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things that you need to ask, right? These are important questions. See, these ain't the questions you like, what's your favorite color? You know what I'm saying? What's your sign? Right. You know what I'm saying? That don't got nothing to do with day to day. Is that person clean? Do they keep a clean house? You know what I'm saying? Is that person a go-getter? Are they lazy? Do they have any ambitions? You know what I'm saying? Do they have friends? What type of friends do they have? You understand? Right. These are the things that you got to look at when you interested in any woman, not just taking on a new woman, any woman. Right. Right? Right. But if you do have a woman and you take on a new woman, the only thing that you are required, right, is A, fulfill the dowry, you know what I'm saying, of her father. Or the requirement of the elder and her family towards her to take her hand in marriage. B, if you have another wife and you take on another one, you are not to diminish, you understand, the duties and the accountabilities that you have towards that woman for the new one that you have. You know what I'm saying? This is why, is it unlawful? No, but everything that's lawful is not necessarily expedient. You may not be a brother that can handle more than one woman. Right. You know what I'm saying? You might be a one-woman man, because your mental dexterity, you might have communication issues that you don't know how to talk to a woman. You know what I'm saying? You a tyrant. You know what I'm saying? Which is basically a grown child. You know what I'm saying? You want to be satisfied, but don't know how to sacrifice or compromise for others.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just, I want. It's, you know, marriage ain't about that.
Right.
It's a lot of compromise out. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't easy, but it's a blessing. Because scripture says, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. And to find one good wife, right? Brother, scripture says, of 1,000 men righteous, I found one, of women, none. So for you to find a good wife, brother, that's a blessing.
Right.
All right, any other questions?
Sir,
Go ahead.
because this is the one that I was saying. It say in verse 11, it say, and if he does not these three unto her, that she shall go out free without money. Like, do that mean she can leave him? Like,
Yeah, she can separate from him.
that's from.
Yeah, she can separate from you.
If she don't
You can't force a woman to stay. She is not a prisoner.
all right.
You can't. You staying here.
Right.
No, it don't work like that.
But can I ask this, sir? It don't mean that she not committing adultery when she find another man.
She can't be. That's your wife. The scripture says, if the unbelieving depart, let them depart. Right. You understand? But in that separation stage, is she burned with passion to rejoin with her husband?
I see what you're saying.
Right? And the scripture also says, if the unbeliever choose to stay with you, right, they're sanctified for the believer's sake. Right? You can't force nobody to stay in a house with you.
But this is what I'm asking, sir. I'm
Does that scripture say anything about divorce? No, it does not. You know what I'm saying? If she want to leave, let her go. Go ahead.
If I may, sir, she would be committing transgression if she did that, right?
What, leaving?
Mm-hmm.
No. She's not committing any transgression. You cannot force a woman to stay in the house with you. She is not a prisoner. You understand? She's not a child. You understand? She's your wife. She is a flesh and breathing being just like you. You have things that you like, things that you don't like, things that you will tolerate, things that you won't tolerate. Now, if it gets to a point to where y'all bumping heads, maybe y'all need to go to separate corners. Yes.
But sir, it's not saying that she can go and be with another man.
What did I just say?
You said it's not saying divorce.
So what does divorce mean?
That means that she can be with another man.
Right. Does that say? Did that say anything about a divorce?
Okay.
No.
That makes it clear, sir.
Yeah, I'm
that
just
scripture
trying
says nothing about divorce.
Right.
She's still your husband. She's just not in the same house as you.
Right.
And if she was to mess with another man, that's transgression.
That was commit adultery.
Oh, no, I don't want to come.
But you cannot force a woman to be with you.
Right.
And when I say be with you, if your woman say that she don't want to have sex with you no more, you understand? So what, you gonna rape your wife?
Sir.
Right, because that's a crime.
Right.
You can't force your wife to have sex with you.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
That's disgusting. You understand? And if your wife does not desire to live with you anymore, and she thinks that she can be better off in the world, boom, there you go. He closed. Go ahead. You understand? But if she go out, and she, get her mind right and she come back, that's still your wife. You know what I'm saying? The whole purpose is for you to come together again. It's just like, it's almost like fasting, right?
Right.
So, y'all have an agreeable time of fasting, then you come back together.
Right.
The same thing when you separate. It's just a fast that you do not desire. You understand?
Right.
But your wife is not a prisoner.
See.
You know what I'm saying? And you are not a prisoner.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if y'all not, now this is not an excuse for you not to handle your responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? She nagging me, so I'ma leave. No, nigga.
Right.
You understand? Like, what did you do? Get counsel. In all matters, get counsel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All right, any other questions?
Nah, sir.
All right, let's get to it. All right, so we breaking down. Yeah, put your phone on vibrate. All right, so we're gonna break down. So tomorrow is Valentine's Day. We're gonna get into the history of Valentine's Day, aka Lupercalia. All right, go ahead and read what you got, brother.
Khan. Lupercalia. Lupercalia was also called Dies Feberatus.
All right. Let me pull up the link. So, does anybody know what Feberatus means or Februarius? Does anybody know what that means? Go ahead.
February.
That's not what that means.
Oh.
All right. So February is fully is Minus Februarius, a month of February, which is the shortest month of the Roman calendar, from which Julian and the Gregorian month of February derived. It eventually placed the second in order of Januarius, or the month of Janus, January, followed by Martis, the month of Mars, or March. Matter of fact, put the camera on the board. So we can break down how evil this oppressor is. Just turn the camera.
I just turn it.
Yeah, just turn the camera and just zoom in. Yeah, just can you see the board?
Khan.
All right. So this is how the actual calendar used to be. All right. So this is broken down in Greek terms, and then you have the Roman carry part, right? So initially, right, if you break down all the days of the year, right, if you divide them all by 28 days in each month, you'll get equally 13 months, right? So in the Greek term, so Greek for one is uni or sol, 2 is do, 3 is tri, 4 is quadri, 5 is quinque or quintilius, 6 is sexa or sectilius, 7 is septum, 8 is octo, 9 is novem, 10 is decim, 11 is udec, 12 is duodec, right? So now we know the first month to be January, but that's not the case. Even then, they knew that the first month of the year was during the time of spring, right? So uni or sol is March, right? So that's why traditionally Passover is end of March, beginning of April, because it's the beginning of spring. All right. So what they did was March, right, became March because they changed the name from uni or sol in as far as Greek terms, because the Romans, because it's Greco-Roman Empire, first it was the Greek Empire, then the Romans came and conquered, right? So they gave different attributes to different gods or different great rulers, right? So March, uni was changed to March for the Roman god Mars, right? The second month, duo, is April. comes from the Roman word Aprilius, which means to open or blossom, right? Which is why the first month following following winter solstice going into spring, it normally fluctuates between end of March, beginning of April. All right. The third month, which became May because of the Roman goddess Maesta, right? All right. The fourth month, Quadri, became June because of the Roman god Jupiter. All right. Now, so the fifth month is July, right? Because of Julius Caesar. Now, they named the fifth month July because Julius Caesar was born in the fifth month. But July for us is January, February, March, April, May, June, July. It's the seventh month, right? So this lets you know how diabolical, you understand, the oppressor is. Right. He has you so out, he has your mind so far outside of time that you don't know what time you're really in right now, right? We're still in winter, technically, right now, right? July is the fifth month, not the seventh month, right? So that month is also known as Quintilius. If you look up the month of July, right, it'll say that it was given the name July in honor of Julius Caesar, who was born in the fifth month, Quintilius. Right? Okay. So next you have the sixth month, which is Sexa or Sectilius, right? What we know as August, right? Because it was named after the Roman Emperor Augustus. Okay. And then this just shows you how crazy it is, right? You have September, which is septum, right? So September is January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. September for us is the ninth month, but the Greek number for seven is septum, September, right? We all know that the octagon, right? Octo means eight. We know this, right? So the eighth month is October, right? And then 9 is November, which is November. But for us, it's the 11th month, right? And then Deca, right, is 10, right? For December. So December is actually the 10th month. It's not the 12th, right? So 11 is Udek, right? Which they named Janus or January after the Greek god Janus, which is the two-faced god, right? Okay, and then you have Duodec, which is 12, right? Which is February, which we're in right now. We're actually in the end of the year right now. This is the last month of 2022 right now, right? And it was named February after what we're talking about right now, the festival Februarius, right? But if you take all the days, right, and you put 28 days in each month, you actually have 13 months, right? This is how things like if you go over to Ethiopia right now, like it's like, I think it's like in their calendar, it's like 2018 or something like that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
It's like, if I may, sir, would it be safe to say that the white man took out 13 months because of the connotation they had with the number 13?
But that would be an assumption, right? That wouldn't be something that we would teach. But we would teach that the white man changed time completely, right? So he changed time, spring forward, fall back with daylight savings time. He literally changed time by having you think that this is the beginning of the year, right? When it's really, we're in the end of the year, right? You understand? And he made you think that September was 9, when you look it up, it literally means 7.
Right.
You understand? So when you have in September, you think you here, but in actuality, you here.
Okay.
You understand? So the whole situation is completely diabolical. All right. So that's just a preface. You can turn it back up here. That's just a preface to help you understand what you're dealing with. So right now, we're at the end of the year, right? So, and it's going to give you understanding of what's going on when we break down what Lupercalia is and why it took place at this time. All right? Go ahead and continue reading.
Okay. After the instruments of purification called February, which gave Februarius, its name, ancient Roman festival held annually on February 15th.
Mm-hmm.
The ceremony of the festival was intended to secure fertility and keep out evil.
Right? So it was a festival to secure fertility, right? Because we all know during wintertime, when people are not really able to go outside, what do? Have sex.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So this lets you know what Valentine's Day is all about. Right? It's about what they made a festival of what people naturally do when a male and a female is locked in a house for extended periods of time and they can't go outside. They have sex. You know what I'm saying? You have something you want to say?
Nah, that's just powerful. So like how you making it
Right.
make a lot of sense.
Come on. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in the 12th month right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Kanawakan. 2 male youths clad in animal skin ran around the city slapping passers with strips of goat skin.
Mm-hmm.
The origins of the festival are obscure, although the likely derivation of its name from lupus, which is Latin for wolf,
Mm-hmm.
has variously suggested connection with an ancient deity who protected herds from wolves, and the legendary she-wolf who nursed Romulus and Remus.
Now, y'all know who Romulus and Remus are, right? We'll break it down. He don't know who Romulus and Remus is.
Salakia, sir, Romulus and Remus are the supposed founders of Rome.
That is that. Give that brother a hand. Go ahead.
And the legend is that they were raised by a she-wolf.
That is correct. You understand? So this sexual festival, right, has owes to the roots, you understand, of Roman lore, right? Dealing with the incubation of the beginning of their empire. Coincidentally, it's in the last month of the year, which starts right before the new beginning, right? Keep reading.
Khan. As a fertility rite.
As a what?
As a fertility rite,
Mm-hmm.
the festival is also associated with the god Faunus.
Mm-hmm.
Because the youths impersonated male goats or wolves, the embodiment of sexuality.
Because what? Because they say you horny as a dog. You know what I'm saying? All goats and dogs do is knock each other off. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the animals that's used for fertility rites. More so goats in Roman culture, right? But in this act, they sacrifice the dog. You understand?
Right.
Towards you understand, as a tribute to Romulus and Remus, who was nursed by a wolf. You understand? Keep reading.
The ceremony was believed to be in honor of Faunus.
Mm-hmm.
The festival survived into Christian times and was not abolished until the end of the 5th century.
You understand? So it moved into Christian times, right? And then, you know, when they did the Christian Crusades and they was trying to murder everybody and wipe out quote unquote paganism, right? They stopped it, but they slid it in and turned it into something else. You understand? So this is what I be trying to get people to understand. Satan don't care how he gets you. You know what I'm saying? Like he'd be like, well, I don't celebrate Christmas, you know, the act of Christmas. It's just a time for my family to gather, you understand? And we give gifts, you know what I'm saying, honoring Christ. You know, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving as the massacre of Native Americans. It's just a time for our family to get together and give thanks. Well, I don't celebrate Independence Day because of the independence of America, even though my people were slaves. I just celebrate it because it's a time for me and my family to get together. You see a pattern? You understand? So the only time that your family, quote unquote, gets together is when the oppressor allows you to. See, the Chinese, they don't celebrate none of the oppressor's holidays. They got their own New Year and they got their own festivals. You know what I'm saying? They got the Dragon Festival. You see them out there with the fireworks and the dragon head doing the dragon dance and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell's going on? Oh, it's Dragon Day. You know what I'm saying? What you talking about, Bruce Lee? The last dragon? You know what I'm saying? They look at you crazy. How you gonna know about Dragon Day? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The same way you should look at them crazy when they don't know what the Day of Atonement is. Right. You know what I'm saying? The memorial of the blowing of trumpets, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, Passover. You understand? Hanukkah. You understand? So the only time you're allowed to celebrate is for their pay, either for their disgusting sexual deviant festivals, you understand, or festivals that celebrate the mass murder of your ancestors. Right. Keep reading.
Observances, sacrifices of goats and a dog by the Lupercalia, priest of the Roman god Faunus, of cakes by the Vestals, female priestesses of the female god Vesta. This is where the concept of giving a gift and having sex comes from, which is a fertility rite.
You understand? So the idea of getting her a gift, well, you know, originally, you know, your kids, it was just candy, right? Because that's what idea came from. The Lupercalia, right, will give cakes to the Vestals, right? The Lupercalia are the priests of Faunus, right? And the Vestals are the female priestesses of the Roman goddess Vesta, right? And when you gave them the gift, right, it initiated the act of the right to have sex, right? So that's why you have the mindset on Valentine's Day, when you take a girl out to dinner, you're owed sex because you're practicing the festival and the pagan ritual of Lupercalia, and you're in the spirit of Faunus. Wow. You have something you want to say, brother?
Salaka, so I just wanted to, it was just so heavy that you brought up the Vestal virgins. And my
they weren't virgins. The Vestas was not virgins. Right. You understand? They were quite broken in year after year.
Salaka, and that was my next point. Are the Catholic nuns the predecessor to the Vestal virgins of Rome?
I mean, the Catholicism horde, as I call them, it's a cesspool of sexual deviancy, right? Of homosexuality, child molestation and pedophilia, sex trafficking. You understand? The reason why these priests and these nuns can't get convicted. Oh, and let me not forget abuse, physical, mental, and spiritual abuse. Especially if you in a Catholic orphanage, those nuns torture you. You understand? Just go on YouTube and type in Catholic orphanage stories, right? And it's all going to be child abuse, pedophilia, molestation, you understand, and torture, right? And the reason why they can't ever get prosecuted is because they keep moving the priest around. Okay, they catching on to him. He got too many accusations of child molestation. We're going to move him from New York. We're going to move him to California. He got too many in California. We're going to move him to Canada. He got too many in Canada. We're going to move him to France. He's moving around. You understand? It's disgusting. Right? Keep reading.
This is where the concept of giving a gift and having sex comes from, which is a fertility rite, in which the goatskin-clad Lupercalia strike women who wish to conceive.
You understand? So they would torture, they would take the goat skin and be like, oh yeah, you want to conceive? Take that. Take that. Yeah, take that. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? They would strike the women. You know what I'm saying? This is also the beginning of BDSM.
Right.
You understand?
Catholic Church, baby.
You understand? Bondage, submission, dominatrix. You know what I'm saying? This is where all of this stuff comes from. You understand? That's how you know the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, right? And this is also the reason why Black, Hispanic, and Native American men, like I see these posts all the time. I took this girl out. I took her to this family restaurant, you know, this fancy restaurant, and she didn't want to come up off no drawers. How dare you to think that the most intimate and vulnerable and most precious part of a woman is owed to you for a meal of $300? Basically, what that means is you think that our women are whores. Right. You understand? You think that a $300 meal, or you go into Salt Bay's restaurant, and you spending $500 on a meal, that means that you're owed sex. That's called prostitution. That's called whoremongering. Go ahead.
It's like, I just wanted to say it's heavy that you say that, because if that's common in today's times, that thinking that if you buy a girl or a woman some food, then they should be able to sleep with you. But when you have the precinct and the police buy you some food, then you're not supposed to snitch on your brother.
You understand? From now on, whenever I see a brother say, you know what I'm saying, shoot, man, I took this girl on this fancy day, bro. She wouldn't come off no job. I was like, oh, so I guess you a priest. I guess you a lupercy priest, huh? Like, what you mean by that? Is she a priestess of Vasti? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, well, why you say that? I mean, because you treating her like a whore. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all are consummating in the act of Lupercalia. What's that? Oh, you don't even know why you do the things that you do. Right. You understand? You don't even know the reason why our people have the mindset that we have. You understand? And it ain't just brothers, sisters feeling, if he don't take me out to a family, I ain't giving him nothing. If he don't give me this, if he don't buy me this, girl, I'm gonna trick him out. You know what I'm saying? If he ain't willing to pay, I ain't trying to play. You know what I'm saying? You have the mindset of Faunus, the Roman god Faunus. That is where all of this comes from. And what's crazy is they do the same ritualistic pagan rites on you every year and you don't realize it. You know what I'm saying? You don't even understand what the color of red is and why it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? That color red represents the blood of the sacrifice of the goat, you understand, or of the dog. Red don't got nothing to do with love. You understand? Like when I go in these grocery stores and stuff now, it's like streamers of red hanging down. I just see that as blood pouring down from the sky from the sacrifices. You understand? I saw a photo today, a sister, who wasn't a sister in school, but a sister, you know, in the world. She posted talking about, I can't wait till I find him. And the dude had the entire floor, you couldn't see the floor, it was covered with rose petals. And the entire bed was covered with rose petals. And then it had, the whole ceiling was covered with red balloons with the strings hanging down. All I saw was blood everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Basically, you just made a sacrifice and made an altar, you understand, to take her and make her a whore priestess of Vashti.
Wow.
You understand? And what's crazy is, I guarantee you, somebody's going to get killed or murdered because they're going to take someone out on a date. They're going to buy someone some type of gift, and somebody not going to want to play because someone paid, and because you didn't follow the rights of the Lupercalia and the Vashti. You understand? They're going to kill you for it. Since they couldn't get their sacrifice off, you understand, from what they sacrificed, they're going to sacrifice you.
Right.
It happens every year. Keep reading.
Each Lupercalia began with a sacrifice. By the Lupercalia,
Each Lupercalia starts off with a sacrifice. Keep reading.
by the Lupercalia of goats and a dog, after which 2 of the Lupercalia were led to the altar. Their foreheads were touched with a bloody knife, and the blood was wiped off with wool dipped in milk.
You understand? Now, do you know what color comes when you mix red with white? Go ahead.
Pink.
Pink.
Right.
What's the color of Valentine's Day?
Red and pink.
Red and pink.
Right.
This is the reason why it's red and pink everywhere.
Right.
It's to symbolize the blood of the sacrifice and it being dipped in milk.
Wow.
It becomes a light shade of pink. Keep reading.
The ritual required that the 2 young men laugh. The sacrificial feast followed, after which the Lupercalia cut thongs.
Now, peep this. Now, let me show you how heavy this is, right? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, today or tomorrow at work, right? You know what I'm saying? All the brothers, you know what I'm saying? Or in the non-brothers, shall I say? You know what I'm saying? Them, not us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're going to be all together in the lunchroom, you know what I'm saying? Laughing and joking. I mean, what you gonna do tonight? Oh man, I'm gonna do this. It's just, yeah, man, that's what's up, baby. I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I'm gonna get it right. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? This going down tonight. Yeah, Brian. I booked a high class 4-class dinner in a private room in Steak 48. Yeah, Billy. You know, I'm gonna go to Papa Bill's Steakhouse. You know. Gonna get that filet mignon, you know, and I'm gonna go home and I'm give Becky though, you know, you know what I'm saying?
High five, buddy. You know what I'm saying? The infectious laugh. Because they're corralling, getting ready to go on the hunt to find which Vesti, priestess of Vesta, they can give sweets to make them their whore for the night. It is also where the term sweetheart comes from. Keep reading.
The sacrificial feast followed, after which the Lupercalia cut thongs from the skins of sacrificial animals.
They did what?
Cut thongs from the skins of sacrificial animals.
I'm gonna let y'all read what they're gonna do with these thongs. Go ahead, keep reading.
And ran in two bands around the Palatine Hill, striking with the thongs at any woman who came near them. A blow from the thong was supposed to render a woman fertile.
You understand? So they would blow from the thong. You know, these things nasty, bro. You know what I'm saying? They already striking them with thongs. You understand? This is also why thongs are made popular in women's lingerie, because it's tied to fondness and Lupercalia, right? You understand? I mean, that's when you go to Victoria's Secrets, you understand? Like, majority of all the lingerie are thongs. Go ahead.
It's like in lingerie is big on this day too.
Right.
When they buy lingerie as a gift.
Right. You understand?
Right.
So that lingerie, they buying you that thong so they can whip you with it. You know what I'm saying? They can blow with it so you can get fertile. They gonna blow in that thong, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't think I gotta break down what it means to blow in a thong. You know what I mean? Just do you understand? Oh, okay. All right. You know what I'm saying? So now you understand. Cause I mean, let's just be honest, man. I mean, I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? You know, when my drawers get bunched up in my butt, you know, I'll be like, God dog. You know what I'm saying? So a woman walking around with a thong out there, I know it ain't comfortable. I know it's not comfortable. You know what I'm saying? They have something flossing up. I know it ain't comfortable. You know what I'm saying? But the purpose of the thong is Lupercalia. You know what I'm saying? Now you know. You know what I'm saying? Buy some boy shorts. They look better anyway. It's lucky. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, keep reading. All right, so now we're gonna get into fondness. All right, who fondness is?
Fondness. In Roman religion, woodland deity.
Hey, what?
Woodland deity.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, wood represents the phallus. All right, keep reading.
Protector of herds and crops. He was identified with the Greek Pan.
Like the Pan-Hellenic. Go ahead.
His festival was observed on December 5th with dancing and merrymaking.
Now, what you didn't know is that Faunus' festival he has two festivals. The one that we're dealing with Lupercalia tomorrow, and then his festival is the opening for Janus. You understand? All right. And what you got to realize is all of these festivals that are high praise is during a time of death, because winter is death. Everything is dead. The only reason why things are alive right now is because we're at the end times, right? When it says that you wouldn't be able to tell the seasons, right? But traditionally in February, there's no green on the trees. Like when we were younger, it was still cold outside in February. You know what I'm saying? I remember the first time it ever snowed in Houston, it was during February. When I was in elementary school, it was still cold. It was cold as hell outside. All right, keep reading.
Another festival, the Lupercalia, held in February is also generally believed to have been in honor of him.
Mm-hmm.
He was attended by fans, mischievous and sportive creatures.
He was a what creature?
Mischievous and sportive creatures.
You know what I'm saying? So he was mischievous and sportive, right? Mischievous means to like beguile, play games, right? Because you know, the whole idea behind Valentine's Day, it's a game of sport, right? To see what kind of gift I can get for a woman to beguile her to come about the draws, right? So you come up with all these elaborate games, you know, dropping little cards and hints, and you know, you play, you open it up in December with Blind Santa, you know what I'm saying? But you intentionally picked her card, you know what I'm saying? Because you wanted her to be Mrs. Claus so you can knock them draws. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Because you knew when February came down, you was gonna give her that lupercalia. You know what I'm saying? And made sure that you played that Cisco, that thong song. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You feel me? You was trying to be in that thong. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So all of this, right? You gotta understand them. Like, our people are brainwashed on so many levels. They have no clue. You understand? Like, when I was in the world, the idea of taking a chick out to a nice restaurant and she don't give you no play after, that's disrespectful.
Right.
But in actuality, it's disrespectful for you to think that food is equivalent to the most vulnerable parts of a woman. You know what I'm saying? And really, keep honest with you, you think less of yourself, that you think food equates to the vulnerable parts of yourself too. You know what I'm saying? The way you treat a woman is how you treat yourself.
Right.
You don't think highly enough of yourself if you think that that food is good enough for you to give a woman your soul. Oh, I don't think you understand the power that comes in your phallus.
Right.
You understand? I'm telling you, it can change worlds.
Right.
You understand? You feel me? It's an attitude adjustment. You understand? That's the real chastisement right there. You understand? You're not allowed to beat your wife. You understand? But spare the rod if you know what I mean.
Right.
You feel me?
So like I said,
Go ahead.
you're not allowed to beat your wife, but you can beat your wife.
Well said, brother. You understand? You're not allowed to beat your wife, but you can beat your wife. You know what I mean? You understand? So, but that is the power, bro. You understand? And there's power on both sides. You feel me? You understand? That is supposed to be a very holy thing to do, to come together. A man and a woman coming together.
Right.
That is godly. That is holy. Why would you want to cheapen it with a meal? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying you can't take your wife out on it. You say, why? Me and my wife, we went and had a meal to watch Super Bowl.
Right.
You understand? That meal don't equate to, maybe your box is equal to a Happy Meal. You know what I'm saying? We had nachos and quesadillas. Your box ain't equal to nachos and quesadillas. What? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you told, like, if a woman didn't like you and you said that, she'd probably slap you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, hey, baby, I'm gonna give you these nachos and these quesadillas. I mean, that's about your box's worth. And I'm gonna take you to the motel and I'm gonna knock the box. She might spit in your face. Cause that's disrespectful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And how disrespectful of you to yourself if you think that's what your rod is worth. You understand? Like I gotta give it. I stole this line from Monty back in the world. He's like, man, hey, look, baby, you You can't just have this. You know what I'm saying? This rod is biblical. You know what I'm saying? That's how you gotta look at it, all right? Because her box is biblical. It is holy. It is sweet nectar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So why would you want to cheapen it by making yourself a lupercalia priest and making her a priestess of vastity? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what this is about. It has nothing to do with love. You understand? Everything to do with reproduction, you understand, and fertility feasts and orgies, right? And men being whoremongers and turning women into whores. So when you go to work tomorrow and you hear all your boys talking about these women they taking out for Valentine's Day, it's like, okay, so I mean, how many whores you got for the day? People like, what? You calling my girl a whore? It's like, I mean, she's a priestess of Vashti, right? You know what I'm saying? He's like, what you mean? She'll be like, I mean, that's what this is about. You a lupercalia priest and she a Vashti priestess, right? You a whoremonger, she a whore. Y'all, you know, it's just for the night, right? I was probably gonna, free up my roster for the spring. You know what I'm saying? So I can get some new recruits in. But I mean, she mine for right now. She's your whore. And you're a whoremonger. You understand? Was that it on Faunus? We got a little bit more on Faunus? Go ahead.
He was attended by Faunus, mischievous and sportive creatures, half man and half goat, similar to satyr.
Yes, satyrs or centaurs.
Satyrs. The female counterpart was Faunus, was Barnadee, also called Fauna.
You understand? So Faunus trying to fauna. That's a lot. It's a lot. All right, so let's break down, you know what I'm saying, how the Lord feels about these holidays. Somebody give me second address in the Apocrypha, chapter 1 and 4. Somebody give me Mark 7 and 5. And somebody give me Matthew 15 and 8. Whoever got second address 1 and 4, let me get there with you. Go ahead and read first. Second address 1 and 4. Go ahead.
This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 1, verse 4. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, verse 5, go thy way and shew my people their sinful deeds.
You know what I'm saying? That is what we're doing right now, right? We are showing our people the sinful deeds, right? By showing you just pure history, right? Like going down the history of Lupercalia, we didn't touch not one Bible verse, right? But just off of hearing the history of what Valentine's Day is, would you really want to celebrate it? No. You understand?
Right.
And that is us showing you the sinful deeds. This festival, because that's what it is. You understand? It's an unholy day. It's disgusting.
Right.
It is deplorable. Keep reading.
And their children, their wickedness, which they have done against me.
You understand? And what's crazy is we're trained up to do this as children. You would get the little heart candies with the little notes on it. You understand? And get the little Valentine's Day card, will you be my sweetheart? You know what I'm saying? You don't even know what you're doing. You so y'all can walk down the hall hand in hand. That's your little hoe and you her little whoremonger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and that stick with you in your mind when you get to that age of hormones. Well, you know, back in the day, you know, in elementary school, you know, she was my little sweetheart, you know, so I'm trying to play on that. See, causing the laughter. right?
Right.
Laughter is also a byproduct of what? Madness. Right?
Right.
Following what? Folly, foolishness. Lupercalia is madness and foolishness. You know what follows madness and foolishness? Death.
Yeah.
Keep reading.
That they may tell their children's children.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6, because the sins of their fathers are increased in them,
Mm-hmm.
for they have forgotten me.
You understand? What does Valentine's Day have to do with the Lord? Show me in the Bible. Show me in the Bible where it tells you that one day a year you're supposed to celebrate the love for your wife and the wife celebrate the love for your husband. Show me that in the Bible. Where did the Lord command that? Or did it say, you know, wives respect your husbands and husbands love your wives? See, that's a whole nother situation right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Scripture didn't say wives love your, it said respect your husband, right?
Right.
And it said husbands love your wives. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And it said love your wife as Christ loved the church. You feel me? Love don't got nothing to do with flowers, with candy, with going out to a restaurant. It has everything to do with accountability, duty, and responsibility, but most importantly, honor. How do you honor your wife? By treating her like a whore. Keep reading.
And have offered unto strange gods. Verse 7, I am not even he that brought them out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. But they have provoked me unto wrath, and despised my counsels.
You have provoking the Lord to wrath. You understand?
Right.
That's why there was an earthquake in Buffalo, New York, outside of Rochester, the same day as the earthquake in Turkey. You know what I'm saying? See, they put all the attention over there, but they didn't talk about the one that happened in Rochester, New York, in Buffalo. They didn't talk about that. That one was a 3.8, almost a 4.
Right.
Yeah, it messed up some stuff up there. Google it. Go ahead.
And sir, that's not common. It don't never happen
Why
in Rochester.
Earthquakes are common to the West Coast.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
See, you playing with stuff that you don't know or fathom what you're doing. And the Lord is sick of it. See, what's crazy is that you don't even realize it. We at the end. We at the end. And you want to play whore and whoremonger.
Right.
You understand? Like you wanna get your rocks off watching porn. You understand? That's the real reason why you treat your woman like a whore. Because of your hidden sexual deviancy of watching pornography. You understand? That's why you think when you do this, she's supposed to do this. And to keep it honest, that's the reason why most Black, Hispanic, and Native American men are attracted to white women. Because of pornography.
Right.
You understand? Because you want your woman to be like the woman that's the whore. You want your woman to do to you what the woman that's the whore does. See, I mean, I'm not making this up. I mean, we all know who the Romans are. And what quote unquote people the Romans are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You want to treat your woman like this. You understand?
Right.
That ain't how it go, huh? And if you ain't learned today from me breaking down the calendar, that we still in the Roman society, I don't know what to tell you. We still in Rome. That's why all of these festivals still happen. That's why you still have Bacchanalia, which is Mardi Gras. You understand? It's a Roman festival to a Roman god. Keep reading. I'm sorry. Go. Who got the next one? Give me what I asked for. Give me Mark 7 and 5.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 7, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Pharisees and scribes asked him, why walk not thy disciples according to the tradition of the elders, but eat bread with unwashed hands?
So let me ask you a question. Is washing your hands, is that a law, a statute, or a commandment? It's not. You understand? So he didn't ask, why is it that your disciples don't follow after the law, statutes, commandments? He said, why don't you follow after the traditions of our elders? Right? So when you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, when you don't celebrate 4th of July, Memorial Day, you know what I'm saying? Or as I like to call it, 4th of July, as in lying. You understand? You understand Memorial Day, Thanksgiving, you understand Christmas, you understand? Your family look at you, why don't you follow after the traditions of our elders? You understand? Because these are not the laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? The Lord did not command us to do that. You got something you want to say, Sapar?
Sir.
Go ahead.
Sir, and it was so heavy that you said it because, they look at you different when you take all these foul customs from your life, but when you try to invite them to come to like the Passover or the any high holy day they have, it seems like they have the same disdain for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, brother, like what people have to realize is that, like, what this brother brought out is so extremely heavy, because it's like, why you don't celebrate X, Y, and Z? Well, why you don't celebrate ABC? You know what I'm saying? Right. I stopped celebrating X, Y, Z because I found out we was neglecting ABC. ABC come before X, Y, Z. We not even supposed to be in X, Y, Z. We in ABC. Have you tried ABC? Why don't you celebrate ABC with me? Oh, no, I ain't doing that, man. Now y'all doing that. You in the cold. See, ABC, cold. You know what I'm saying? A plus B equals C, cold. That's how the as Captain Zari say, the blackity blacks, that's how they talk.
Right.
You see, brother, A is for Adam. You know what I'm saying? B is for black, and you get to C, you in the coat, brother. I mean, am I lying? You know what I'm saying? No, none of that correspond together at all. You know what I'm saying? Black Adam in the coat. You know what I'm saying? Hell up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? But they so caught up in sin, they can't even fathom trying something that's righteous. Like, brother, have you ever fasted for a day? I mean, you stuff so much in that hole in your face. Have you ever just abstained for a day? You know what I'm saying? Just close your mouth for a day. You know what I'm saying? And abstain from putting something in it. Maybe something righteous might come out of it.
Right.
Go ahead, brother.
One time I fasted for an extensive amount of time, and I just stopped cursing for a long time. I don't know how it came back, but I guess, I've backslid, started doing anything.
Well, so one from a practical standpoint, right? Not even speaking on a spiritual side, from a practical standpoint. If you can deny your flesh of what it feels it's essential to survive for a day, you can sacrifice food and water for a day.
Right.
You can go 24 hours from sundown to sundown without food and water.
Right.
You can do anything, huh?
Right.
You understand?
Right.
You can do anything that you set your mind to. That from a base standpoint, a practical standpoint, is what it means to fast.
Right.
Now, spiritually, it's a whole lot of other stuff. But base practical standpoint, that's what people are like, oh, I'm doing a Daniel fast, I'm doing 6 to 6, fruits and vegetables. You know what I'm saying? Daniel didn't say that. They just only ate fruits and vegetables. It wasn't from 6 to 6. They went on a vegetarian diet. You know what I'm saying? But an actual fast is to abstain from food and water for 24 hours. That is a fast. You're making yourself a presentable sacrifice unto the Lord. And during this time, you're praying and interceding for certain things, asking for guidance and wisdom from the Lord, and presenting yourself as an acceptable sacrifice so that he may deal with you or hear your petition, your supplication unto him. You know what I'm saying? That's the purpose for it, right? Keep reading. Verse 6.
Verse 6. He answered and said unto them, well, hath Esaias prophesied you hypocrites? Well, hath Esaias prophesied of you hypocrites? As it is written, the people honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
You know what I'm saying? We know Esaias is Elijah.
Right.
Right? So, you go to a Christian church, that's what they talking about. Valentine's Day. I know y'all gonna go out here, do for your sweethearts and stuff like that. But the Christian church is supposed to be the house of the Lord. Right?
Right.
The Catholic Church is supposed to be the house of the Lord. Right? But they honor me with their lips, but their heart, and the word heart in Hebrew means mind. You understand? They honor me with their lips, but their mind is far from me. You understand?
Right.
Because if you have the mind to just simply research what Valentine's Day is, where it came from. And hell, on Valentine's Day, they had the same Valentine's massacre. You understand? Evilness happens on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is just as evil and equality as All Hallows Eve. It is just as evil. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 7. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
The commandments of who?
The commandments of men.
The commandments of God.
The commandments of men.
You understand? The commandments that came from Moses.
The commandments of men.
You understand? You feel me? These aren't commandments from God. When you're celebrating Valentine's Day, you're following after the commandments of men.
Right.
You understand? If you were the woman, she say you ain't giving up on Valentine's Day, you say, I don't follow after commandments of men. And if you think that you can't be with me because of a gift on a day when I honor you, take care of you, respect you, you understand? And not treat you like a whore every day, we don't need to be together. Go ahead, brother.
Oh no, I was just saying, well, bye.
Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Don't let the Lord hit you with a good Lord split you. You understand? Kick rocks. You understand? So, that's self-explanatory. Who got the? I had what was it? Matthew. Let's say Matthew. Well, it say the same thing. Somebody give me Ezekiel 33 and 30.
Okay. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, verse 30. Also, thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, Come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that cometh forth from the Lord.
Keep reading.
Verse 31. And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words.
They do what?
And they hear thy words, but they will not do them.
You understand? I know a lot of y'all gonna hear this word. I know a lot of y'all gonna hear it. You know what I'm saying? I know you can probably share the class, your homegirls, or your homeboys, you can share the class. They're gonna watch it. They're gonna hear the word. They're not gonna do it. They gonna go to State 48, 13, you know what I'm saying? Papa Bros Steakhouse, Tony's, you understand? They gonna go to Lucille's, you understand? They gonna go everywhere, you understand? But serve the Lord. You understand? They gonna hear it. They gonna hear the word. They're not gonna do it. You understand? That's how you know it's talking about all people. You understand? It says that the children of Israel are stiff-necked people. We stubborn as hell. But guess what? Time is running out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, you know, and especially since we've been breaking down Genesis, like, I just don't understand, like, how you can't see the signs of the times. Like, we passed the wars and rumors of wars. Right now, we had nation rising against nation. And we just not talking about physically, we talking about cyberly. You know what I'm saying? Because World War III is going to start off from a cyber side, cyber attacks. And I don't know, it's been so many security breaches, you understand, from China over here. You know what I'm saying? And don't get it twisted. China just reacted with America been doing this for a long time.
Right.
America been hacking everybody. China getting their get back. You have something you want to say, Sapar?
Sir, like the statement that you made a second ago, like, you know, for our people, like they just can't get it. Like, it's Christianity. Like, well, I've got the verse. Is this the great delusion in the book of Revelations? Like the whole religion of Christianity from like how it started.
Well, first you have to understand, right? We use the term Christian as a derogatory term, but the term Christian is supposed to mean a follower of Christ, right? But that term has been twisted, and even in the Bible, it was used as a derogatory term. You know what I'm saying? So the scripture says that Satan and the devil will create their own signs and wonders, right? And I'm here to tell you, don't get it twisted. United States of America, they got their own chariots. They got their own versions of what we call UFOs. You understand? And you be a damn fool to think that he's not gonna stage a second coming. It's in the Bible. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is the crazy part. It's in the Bible. It's telling you that he's going to stage his own signs and wonders. He's going to make you think it's the second coming. And he's going to draw a third, I'm sorry, I said 2/3 of the stars of heaven. They gonna be like, oh, it's the day. Christ is back. You understand? Like, it's gonna be CGI in the sky. If you don't believe me, just look up. Like when you see all these cone trails and these chemtrails, whenever and they do grid patterns in the sky. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't been paying attention, just pay attention now. Watch where those patterns are 3 days later. It's gonna look like a blanket, an unnatural blanket in the sky. You understand? Like they had, like, mark my words, they create their own signs and wonders. And they messing with things they shouldn't mess with, and they're gonna cause even more diverse earthquakes in diverse places. You understand? It's gonna be a lot of tempests. You understand? Unnatural tempests, because they fracking with things that they shouldn't be fracking with. And I'm using the word fracking because of what they've been fracking in the ground and destabilizing the soil to where you can't even plant and grow crops. You understand? They intentionally putting bad GMOs in the chicken feed to where your chickens ain't even laying eggs. Wow. You know, that was a conspiracy that just came out. They found out the reason why the hijack in egg prices was due to the fact that it's only 2 chicken feed companies that people use chicken feed from. They're owned by the same company, and it was because of the type of chicken feed was the reason why the chickens weren't laying eggs. Wow. But the moment that farmers took them off those 2 companies' chicken feeds and started making their own feed, it was to the point chickens wouldn't even eating the chicken feed. Right. Because they knew it was poison, and they wasn't laying eggs. And the moment they started eating the homegrown feed that people started making, started laying eggs again. Like, it's not a game, right? Right. We at the end, and y'all want to play. Y'all want to play Lupercalia and Vasti. Hide the hoe. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to go ho-ho-hoing. You understand? You feel me? That's literally what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? When you go to work tomorrow, you be like, man, all right, I'm about to go celebrate my Valentine. All right, you be like, all right, ho-ho-ho. What? Ho-ho-ho, bro. Ho-ho.
It's not Christmas.
You know what I'm saying? It's not Christmas, I know. But I mean, you fine as trying to follow. You know what I'm saying? Right. You feel me? You gonna be like, what? It's over your head, brother. Lord Christ. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Khan.
What verse you at?
In the middle of 31, sir.
Go ahead.
For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 32, and lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that has a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument.
You know what I'm saying? They gonna be listening to my, that's right, brother. Ooh, that brother bring it out. It's heavy. Woo! I ain't never heard a word like that. It's like a sweet instrument in my ear. Keep reading.
For they hear thy words, but they cannot do them.
You know
but they do them not.
But you want to know why? Because they want to. It's too hard for them not to go with the flow.
Right.
You understand? Like, it's too hard. You know what I'm saying? They gotta go. See, I'm the person, you know what I'm saying? When everybody walking towards the cliff, I'm walking away. You know what I'm saying? Everybody walking to the cliff to fall off the cliff. They're like, man, where you going? I'm walking to where it's stable ground. I mean, y'all want to go and die. I mean, but everybody going that way. Okay. You know what I'm saying? That's like they shooting machine gun fire and everybody running to the machine guns, and I'm walking away, man. What you? I mean, it's going down over there. I know.
Right.
I'm going where it's not going down. I'm going where it's going up. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Yeah.
So this is the mindset that you gotta have. And when you try and tell them the right thing and they don't listen, don't get dismayed. Don't get down by it. Don't get angry. Don't get upset. Don't get frustrated. You understand? Because what you are, because the temple of the Lord is inside of you. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate, but you're testifying against them. Because when it comes time, they can't say they didn't know. This is the reason why the Lord is omnipotent, omnipresent. You know what I'm saying? Because he dwells inside of you. This is how he's able to be everywhere at once. Because he sees what you see. He hears what you hear, right? And then when they think they're getting away with it when they by themselves, the Lord sees through your eyes. He hears through your ears. And one thing you can't do, you can't lie to yourself. Because you know the truth. You know the real. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. See, that's the thing. The world knows what's wrong. They just choose not to do what's right. You understand? Everybody knows what's right and wrong. You understand? You got to be outside your rabbit behind mind to think sex equates to food. You understand what I'm saying? And it's dudes I'm talking about that will blow a casket tomorrow if they do all of this wooing and they don't get no box, to the point where they're going to turn violent. And mark my words, somebody going to die tomorrow because they not honoring the lupercalia and being bastard. I got one more, and we gonna shut it down. Give me what I want. Perfect scripture to end it on. Give me Proverbs 3:31. Perfect scripture to end it on.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31.
Mm-hmm.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Say that one more time.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Love everything that the oppressor does.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Scripture says, envy thy not thy oppressor. You understand? I know Halloween look like fun to go to door to get candy. You understand? You know how many people got drugged and got put in the hospital, you know what I'm saying, because of things that people put inside of the candy. You know what I'm saying? I know it looks fun to have turkey and honey baked ham with pineapples and maraschino cherries on it. You know what I'm saying? But the carving of that turkey is the massacre of your people. You know what I'm saying? It's the genocide of your people. That's what that represents. You know what I'm saying? I know it looks like fun to go find a tree in the forest and to choose it and to cut it down and to fasten it upright with nails and to deck it with silver and gold and to put a star on it and then put presents under it and then leave milk and cookies. But guess what? You're honoring the king of Babylon, right? And those milk and cookies that you're leaving out, that's for the queen of heaven. You understand? If you didn't know, I was talking about Ishtar and Nebuchadnezzar. You understand? And which leads way to what's coming up. You know what I'm saying? Bacchanalia, Fat Tuesday, and Lent, which is to their son Tammuz. Notice all of these festivals take place in the death of time.
See, they fooled you to think that the death of time was the beginning of time. It was the new beginning of time. But it's really the end of time. You understand? But the scripture says that my people perish for lack of knowledge. You understand? But it also says oppression makes a wise man mad. But guess what? A gift destroys the heart.
Hey.
It's going to be a whole lot of destroyed hearts tomorrow.
Wow.
Go ahead, brother.
Saliva, sir, and I mean, you know, that's so heavy that it said, you know, it just, you know, such a blessing to be in, you know, this school, you know, and teaching you to be indifferent towards all these, you know, different pagan holidays, which just is a distraction for our people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's like a sense of freedom to be in the Israelite school or universal and practical knowledge.
And what's crazy about what you're saying is what people don't really understand is it's a burden to be free.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So people talking about, yeah, I want to be free. I don't want to be a slave. But do you know what that means, huh? So you free to find your own clean water. That's burdensome. Right? You're free to find your own source of food. You're free to find your own waste management. Right? We ain't even talking about the highlight. We talking about basic stuff. Right? Okay? You free to find and create your own shelter, your own infrastructure, your own cities. So that's work. Right? Like if the United States said, okay, black people, we didn't hurt y'all. We know how hard it is, how hard it's been on y'all. You know what I'm saying? We gonna give all the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we gonna give y'all Wyoming to Nevada. You understand? Y'all got 24 hours to get to y'all land, or we gonna consider it an act of war. You understand? Now, on top of all of that, you gotta figure out the infrastructure of your government. You understand? You gotta figure out the municipalities. You know what I'm saying? You gotta figure out who gonna police. You know what I'm saying? You gotta develop your own military, your own weapons. You know what I'm saying? You gotta defend your borders. You know what I'm saying? Against your enemies. See, freedom don't sound so easy now, do it? See, freedom is burdensome. It's hard to be free. Right? You understand? It's not as easy as you think. Nor should it be. See, what you have to understand is this is not the land of the home of the free, you know what I'm saying, or the home of the brave. This is the land of liberty. Do you know what that word liberty means? What does liberty mean? Go ahead.
It means for somebody else to tell you what to think, like how you should be acting.
That's close. You might know what liberty means? Yeah, look it up. Do you know where the term liberty comes from?
To liberate.
No. Where does the term liberty come from? Who uses the term liberty? If I say you have liberty to go about and do something, who uses that term?
The police?
And who else? Like the police, but higher than the police.
The president?
The military.
Military.
Right?
Right.
You got the definition of liberty? You about to say something, Sapar?
So like he said, I was about to say the courts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's even heavier. Read the definition of liberty means.
The Google Dictionary definition of liberty: the state of being free within society from oppressive restrictions imposed by authority on one's way of life.
That ain't the one I want.
They have the second definition:
Go ahead.
the power to or scope to act as one pleases.
Mm-mm. All right, so a pass called liberty, right, is an authorized absence, not chargeable as leave for short periods to provide respite from the working environment or for other reasons, right? So when you have liberty, right, you have controlled rights to do things, right? You're not free, right? You have freedom within your rights, right? That's why you have the Bill of Rights, right? You know, like your First Amendment, your Second Amendment, those are rights, right? Rights to the liberty of pursuit of happiness, rights to the liberty of bearing arms, right? Rights to the liberty of free press, right? You operate outside of any right to a liberty that they give you, you go to jail, you go to prison. You're deemed as a terrorist or a traitor, right? Because you're not sovereign, right? You know what I'm saying? You are a commodity to be traded. Right. So they give you liberties and rights, right? Not freedoms. Right. Right. Because you're not free. Right? Right? And that's why scripture says that he pulled, envy not thy oppressor and choose none of his ways. If you choose one of his ways, he has the right to treat you as if you're under his umbrella. Right. And he can do with you as he pleases. That's why the United States is a corporation, it's not a land. Right? Right. In a company, you have rights and you have liberties. Right? The fact that you're able to have a lunch break, that's a liberty. Right? You know what I'm saying? And you don't necessarily have the right to have an hour lunch break. Be glad that I give you 30 minutes. Right. Right? Right. You understand? And when you actually look at the terms and conditions that you sign, they use this type of jargon: liberty, rights. You know what I'm saying? Responsibilities, duties. Right? So, anybody got any questions? Any other questions? All right. We're gonna pass the class over to Trooper Yabakannis. I'm sorry, Salakia, Officer Yabakannis. Salakia, my bad, brother. What's up, brother? Put some respect on my rank, brother. No goddamn gonna Trooper. You damn right. Go pan the camera over to brother Yabakannis. Yabakannis.
Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes. which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, and Malachi 3 and 8 through 10 means 10th in the Hebrew. Ma'asharah, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. Purim, 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. Sunday, the 5th of March, and Monday, the 6th of March, 2023. From the book of Esther, 9 and 20 through 31. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And that concludes the security announcements.
All right, with that, we're going to say Amadium, which means to stand. Sar, which means to turn. Face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer first in Hebrew, then in English. Repeat after me. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Wadad. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. BLACKWATCH. Taba'ah. Ratazayaka. I.S.U.P.K. Baratazah. Kawah. Hayah. Bashemayim. Yatalanawa. Acham. Call. Yawam. Wasalaknawa. Kabawakinawa. Sorry, Kabawakinawa. Wala'ah. Kabi'ayinawa. Badasaya 1. Abal. Hawashayinawa. Hayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Waha'Allah. Wahata Para. La'awalumium. Aman. In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. Sar, turn face to front. We'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers and to the sisters. In Israel, by the Shabbat, Baki, Ra. YAHANNA Shimei Brakatah. Yadabata, Sar, turn face sisters, individual, by the Shabbat, Baji, Rock, YAHANNA Shimei Brakatah, Yadabata, dismissed.